Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Erin. I am a now 5th year urology resident, and I wanted to talk about, I needed to do my end of 4th year check-in, but now I've been a chief for like 4 weeks. So I'm obviously running a little late, which tells you a little bit about how things are going. Very busy, but I wanted to record this because I really like to watch these back and kind of see how far I've come. And then I also just think it's good, for people to see kind of what it's like progressing through residency. So I think I've done one of these like every 6 months, I think for the entirety of my residency. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please don't forget to subscribe. Let's jump in. So 4th year was both a really good year for me and also a very hard year for me. I think when I last did my check-in, I was at like December of my 4th year, which was kind of a low point in my 4th year. I had been on 2 months of research, which sounds really nice to people. Like it's like, oh, 2 months, you kind of set your own schedule. And I think I, was talking about that in the video, but in reality, I did not do well not having structured time in the hospital. I felt like I should be doing more than I was doing because research is not something I particularly thrive at. It's something I have to really work at, and it doesn't come as naturally to me. And so I was having trouble, getting a good flow, doing research. I was trying to study, but also like was having a lot of difficulty doing that because I didn't have structured time and I wasn't used to it. And then I felt like I wasn't working hard enough, and that led to a lot of like anxiety. And so I just was not at my best at that time. After that, things definitely started to get better. I started on an off-site rotation that was oncology specific, which was good because for me, I would say one of the skills that I really want to improve that I feel I'm not the most strong at is my robotic skills. And obviously, this year is kind of the year to build those skills, but as a 4, you're kind of starting to build them up and get a good foundation. And I felt as if being at an off-site rotation where I felt like there was less pressure to show people that I was really good and really smart because it wasn't the core group of people that I normally work with. It was a group of people that wanted to help me learn, but also as a specialty service where you're not dealing with consults all the time, you're not dealing with a huge amount of other inpatient stuff. You could really focus on the surgeries, take your time. And so I felt like that was a really good rotation for me and really helped my learning in a non-stressful environment. The call was also much less, which was good from a lifestyle perspective, obviously. And you got to work with fellows. So overall, that was a good rotation to kind of get my feet back under me after kind of a rough research rotation. I did feel like I was starting to get more confident robotically, and then I went to pediatrics where I didn't do that many robot, but that's okay. I love pediatrics. I think if you watch some of my other videos, you may know this, but I considered doing pediatrics for a little bit. I just really like the surgeries that they do. They do a lot of open cases, which is kind of where my interest lies. They do a lot of very small, delicate surgery, which I think my skill set does well in that. I really like just working with kids and having kids as patients, and they rebound so quickly from surgery that it's more fun for me to see people do really well after surgery. And sometimes in the adult world, it takes a longer time from these big surgeries for people to get back on their feet, get walking, get moving, and kids just rebound so quickly because they're so young and so healthy. And I've talked about this before, but the planes in kids are so beautiful. Few of them, very few of them have had prior surgeries. I just really liked peds. The call is worse on peds, so I kind of ended my 4th year with the worst call of the whole year, but it was good because I also got back to used to being on a more rigorous schedule because now I'm starting chief year at kind of our most rigorous hospital, and I am certainly feeling it. My schedule is jam-packed. I would say obviously during my 4th year, and you guys know this now, but I think part of the reason why research was so stressful for me is I was deciding what to do with my life. I was deciding whether or not I was going to do fellowship And I think that me being on research time and feeling so stressed about doing research was a reason why I didn't end up doing fellowship. There were a number of different reasons, but that I do think contributed to that. I started applying to jobs while I was on my research rotation and started interviewing for jobs and carried that through my next 2 rotations, and really kind of made the decision not to pursue fellowship and to pursue a job and to find the job that was right for me. And so that was a huge thing in 4th year, and my goal was to accomplish it and sign for a job before I started my chief year. And I signed for a job literally my last day of 4th year. I signed the contract for the job. So I did accomplish that, and I'm really excited for my job. It feels like the right fit for me. I really like everyone at the practice. I just think there's a lot of opportunity there for me. I think I will fit in well. I think I can bring a lot to the practice. I'm gonna try and do some social media for the practice, and I am just really looking forward to it. So that was a huge highlight of 4th year for me, was kind of finding my stride and what I wanted to do and being confident in that decision and sticking with it and getting a job. Like, that process, while stressful at times, overall was a huge highlight of my 4th year. I think I also am getting better confidence-wise. A huge thing kind of throughout my training in general has been being able to be confident in my skills and my ability, and being able to be confident in my decision-making. And naturally, as you kind of progress through the years, you just have to take more control. And 4th year, you are away from your core rotations for most of the time. I spent my first 4 months at my core rotations, and the rest of the time I was off rotation. And that kind of helped me build a little more independence, not lean on my attending so heavily, think about the decisions that I would make for patients, and kind of start to build that confidence. Obviously, I was doing rotations that were not my core rotations, and so sometimes that confidence gets knocked down a little bit. Like pediatrics, we obviously don't have as much experience as in the adult world because we spend less time doing pediatrics, and so sometimes the decision making is a little harder because you haven't really had as much experience. But it's good. It was just nice to learn and to be able to make some decisions and feel confident in my decision making. I will say, and this is kind of cheating because I'm already starting my chief year, but this whole year is about making decisions. You are leading the team. You are basically coming up with plans for patients every day and texting them out, and you are kind of just leading a service. And so your whole day is decision making. You're getting more autonomy in operations. There's a ton of decision making there. You're expected to step up. And for me, I think I am doing better. I'm really trying to kind of take ownership and take control of these patients. We've had a lot of complex patients, and so it's been difficult to kind of keep everything straight, but it is a really, really important experience to kind of take this leap up. And I think this is going to be very useful for me. I think it was good for me to start on the more rigorous rotation because you just have to jump in and do it. And I think it's good for me moving forward now, where I will have this experience and I will have a ton of operative experience, and I will just be able to conquer these decisions, conquer these surgeries, and just kind of stride through my chief year and really get the most out of learning. So I'm very happy with that decision. While it has been rough and there's been a lot of stress, it has also been a really good learning experience. I also just like being busy. I think, obviously there's a balance, but as I've learned while on my research rotation, when I wasn't busy and kind of got sad when I didn't have structured time, I like having structured time. It makes me feel like I'm doing something worthwhile, and it makes me enjoy my time off more. So that is very good for me to know, and I think that's important for me to learn. In terms of goals for this year, I want to stop second guessing myself so much. I think while I am building confidence, I still have this constant internal monologue of second guessing yourself, which I do think is good. I think it's always good to keep your options open and to think about your options and not just jump straight to your first gut option. But at a certain point, you need to make a decision, and you need to stop second guessing yourself and just live with that decision. And I haven't quite gotten there yet. I constantly second guess myself and seek external validation that I'm doing the right thing instead of being so much more confident in my decisions. It has gotten better, but I want to continue to do that. I think that is a big part of residency, and I think this year is the year that's really going to kind of solidify, and I'm going to become much better at that. I I have some certain procedures that I am really trying to get the skills and nail down. PCNL is one of them. We do a ton of PCNLs. We're so lucky. We have a surgeon who does a ton of PCNLs, and I really want to be able to feel comfortable getting my own access and doing that case. I feel like I could at this time, but I want to like make that just a reflex and like, you know, I can do it every single time. HoLEPs, again, we are very lucky and we get a ton of experience with HoLEPs, but that is something I do want to do in practice. And so I want to make sure I feel extremely comfortable doing that case. And obviously robotic surgery. You know, I don't know if I'll be doing so much robotic surgery. I'm not going to be an oncologic urologist. I think as a general urologist, I will more so focus on endourology and like sexual health, but I want to be able to do robotics if I get a patient that I think I have a good option for robotically. I want to be able to feel very comfortable doing those cases, and I want to be able to handle any consult that I get, and that may be an intraoperative consult for a robotic case, and I want to be able to basically handle anything. This is the year that we solidify our robotic skills. I can already see myself making leaps and bounds. I'm in like 6 to 8 robotic cases a week on this rotation, and so I get a ton of experience, which is amazing. And I really like that case, and it's really kind of becoming, you know, something I really enjoy doing. So I just am excited for the learning opportunities this year. I think skill-wise, I also really improved my 4th year, certainly robotically, because I really didn't know robotics up until 4th year, and that's a learning curve. You think that it translates well to open surgery, and some parts of it do, but some parts of it don't. And so that's certainly a learning curve. And even now that I'm back at a site where I'm doing more robotic surgery, I can see the improvements I have made, which is really gratifying. The attendings are pointing it out. Obviously, you still have so much to learn, but I can see there's certain parts of the case that I feel very comfortable with, and I like that. It makes it way more fun for me to do. So yeah, I hope that I look back on this video and see how far I've come, and I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions about the transition from 4th year to chief year, or kind of what it means to be a chief or anything like that, just let me know. But I will see you guys next time. Bye.